Okay, I'm just gonna wonk this out here. Tomorrow I'm starting a 30-day juice fast, and I wanted to do a preparation video to kind of go over where I'm at and what my goals are. And so, where I'm at is last summer, last August, I broke my wrist, my left wrist, fortunately not my right wrist because I'm right handed. And I was in rehab mode. I was in a cast for 2 months, and then I had to regain the flexibility in my hand, which took a lot of my time during the day, focusing on exercising and going to rehab. And just breaking the wrist took a lot of focus of in the initial, say, 2 months of just being in the cast and dealing with discomfort. And fortunately, I am pain free today and I have a lot of flexibility, so it was totally successful. But it took a lot of participation on my part to do this. And this was coming off of a wonderful summer vacation at the beach. It was like heaven on earth. It was just one of the best vacations I've ever had, one of the best times I've ever had at the New Jersey shore with my brother, and we just had an idyllic time. That was 3 weeks, and I was traveling for a week to get out there, and I had planned to travel for a week getting back. So it was really a 5 week vacation, and it was on the trip back that my car broke down, and then I was riding my bike for transportation where I was stuck, and I fell off my bike and broke my wrist in Maryland. So it was sort of like I was in a really good place for this to happen, actually, because I was feeling physically fantastic and my mood was just so profoundly positive. So I had a long way to fall, so that was the good part. But the other part of it was that, I was on vacation and I was indulging in a lot of kind of forbidden foods. So my eating was not the greatest, with the donuts on the boardwalk and indulging ice cream at night, going with my brother to the handcrafted ice cream store and getting big ice cream cones and walking around at night eating these ice cream cones and looking at the moon and the beach and the surf. And it's very nice, but it's not a sustainable diet. So my plan was when I got back home to get myself in check and reverse engines and get back to a healthy eating, at least a healthy eating style, if not juicing. But that didn't happen, and I was kind of housebound. I was not exercising, to say the least. The only thing I was exercising was this, doing a lot of exercising of that, but no, general physical exercise. And I gained weight. I just sat and I ate the comfort foods because I needed them. I felt I needed them. I needed comforting. It wasn't the time to restrict my diet. And I gained weight, and then I went into a heavy work schedule, and I always gain weight doing that. I've never found a way to go into the heavy work schedule, working all night and deadlines and everything without gaining weight. And typically I gain about 20 pounds during this time in the winter. And then I take it off. So now we're at the taking the weight off stage. I have not weighed myself since I started gaining weight with the project, which has been about 2.5 months. I feel heavier. I have a lot of weight around my midsection. I barely fit into my clothes. I'm at the stage where if it gets any more out of hand, I have to go out and buy all new bigger clothes, which I don't want to do. And I have a lot of smaller clothes that don't fit. And so this is when I go to my juicing, because I've done probably about almost 250 days of juicing in my life. In my life, it's been the past, let's say, 8 years. And I did juicing before that, but not for weight loss and not consistent. I was always loved fresh carrot juice in particular, but really serious juicing, it's probably been about 8 years. So, I wish there were other ways to take the weight off and to purge and to cleanse the system, but this is the one that is doable for me. It's manageable, and I've had success with it. And when I think about that, I've done maybe 250 days of juicing, and let's say that I've taken off, let's say, a quarter of a pound for each day. That's really like 60 plus pounds that I would be heavier if I had never done that. So that's something I have to put in my head and really quantify what juicing has done for me. And also, I live in Iowa, which is a state where there's a lot of overweight people. In the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, I do not believe there was any accident that two of the people who were focused in the movie were from Iowa. The one guy in particular is just a kind of a typical Iowa truck driver who's just obese, profoundly in a prison of fat and overeating and bad eating. And I know a lot of people who it's pretty normal, to be with a group of people and have people kind of profoundly overweight sitting at a table doing overeating. It's one of the hobbies here. They're not into health food, but anyway, and fortunately, I don't really even like the food they eat. I'm a vegetarian. It's a lot of, barbecue beef and stuff I don't even like. But anyway, I've got my own way of indulging. And I've been enjoying all these comfort foods. And in the past 2 or 3 days, I knew that I was going to start on the 1st of March, which is tomorrow. And it's like the good news and the bad news. The good news is that I'm going to find relief. I know that things will improve, that I'm not just on this like descent into poor health and overweight, that there is a solution. But the bad news is it's almost as if like the eating little, let's say that there's like little entities that attach to an eating person, and they get joy out of indulging in candy and donuts. I was eating donuts for breakfast, and they were so good, powdered donuts with a good cup of coffee, and oh my word, what a way to start the day. But it's like those little entities that are getting pleasure out of that in my psyche, they're being booted out. They've gotten the notice, and it's like, no more fun for you. That's it. It's going to be all different for 30 days. And I know it gets really tough. That's why I do these videos, is to encourage myself to be good to my word and to stick with it when the going gets tough. But I've done as much as 40 days at a time. I've done many 30 days. I've done a lot of 20 days. And I know at the end I just get completely obsessed with food. But then I also know as soon as I start eating, it's just food. That's what I've done my whole life. So this is just a little hiatus. I plan on doing really tasty juices. We have a juice truck in town. It's called, what's the name of that juice truck? Can't remember the name of it. It's got a cute little name. But he makes really tasty juices, like a lot of ginger, a lot of lemon, probably a lot of apples, and they're very tasty. So that's one of my goals, is to make, use a lot of kale, use a lot of celery, do a lot of green, but to really make it so that it's very tasty. Because you can do that with juice, You can make it so that it's just ambrosia, which is what it is, really. It is ambrosia. And that's what allows me to do it for so long, because it's very satisfying. And you can always just juice more, never hungry. It takes the hunger factor out of it. And then as I feel more comfortable in my clothes and I feel that I'm moving in the right direction, those little voices in my head will, be cast aside somewhat. And then maybe I'll even start exercising regularly again, because I have the time to do that. Went for the first walk today out it was like 50 degrees today, it's been like 10, 7, 16. So today was really the first day I took a walk on the trails. It was really nice, and I'll be able to get outside more, and hopefully I'll get back to regular exercising while I juice, which is what I do. There was a time when I wouldn't exercise and juice, but I found that I can do that comfortably. So that's it. That's my initial message of intention to myself. and I'll publish it up on YouTube, and then I'll have a a little journal of my journey. So that's it, my juicing journey. Okay, that's it.